What's up, guys? Today we're going to make a quick graphic in Photoshop. The reason of this tutorial is to go over shortcut keys and tools that you use every time you open the program. Essentially, there's a million shortcut keys and you really don't use them all. So that's why we're making this video. We're going to make a Google request review picture that's going to be sent out in emails. All right, let's get into it. First things first, we're going to grab our screenshot of their business profile in Google. So this picture is going to be in the way. It's going to be in our screenshot. Let's get that. So print screen and then go into Photoshop, and I am going to paste Control V. Now we have our screenshot here in the program. So I am going to press V for our grab tool, and I'm going to grab and drag this around. I'm going to press Control T to transform this, and I'm going to pick this up a bit. You can click here on the boundary boxes of the boundaries, or you can click on width and height up here, the W and the H, and click and drag left or right. I'm clicking and dragging right to increase. Boom. And I'm repositioning with my arrow keys, right and left. And that looks good. Perfect. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to press Z for zoom. And I'm going to click with my mouse and drag. Okay, so next I'm going to pick M for my marquee tool. And I am going to try to select right inside these gray borders and to this gray border here. And I'm going to drag all the way down to the bottom of the page. And that looks pretty good. I'm going to press Z for zoom to zoom back out and see what we're working with. Next thing I'm going to do is press I for the eyedropper tool, and I'm going to select this gray color, which is what we want it to look like in a second. So I'm selecting the gray. That has selected the color over here in our color swatches. Next I'm going to press B for our brush tool, and I am going to paint inside this marquee area that we just created. And we're going to get rid of all of those other listings. We don't want to be shouting out other businesses on their review request. Another thing, Control D to deselect. And we're looking pretty clean. If we wanted, we could remove that line, but I'm going to leave it. It's not a big deal. Another thing I don't want is we have these. What is this? So I'm going to use M, my marquee tool. I'm going to select this area. Again, I am then going to press I for the eyedropper. I am going to select that color. Just it looks like it's a little different. Press B for the brush tool, and I'm just going to click and brush right over that. Press D to deselect. Boom. Looking good so far. I am pressing Control, and I'm scrolling my mouse wheel down to reposition this. That looks pretty dang good so far. We're going to try something. I'm going to press Marquee, the M tool, and I'm going to drag and select this. And what I'm going to do here is there's a couple things we can do. So where are we at? So under there it is. Okay, so under Edit, you have this cool thing here that says Content Aware Fill. So I'm going to click that, or you press Shift F5, and it's going to ask, it's going to create, this is our preview. So it's going to try and remove that, but essentially it didn't work too well, and it's leaving us these weird lines. Cancel. So I'm canceling it. And let's try it again. Let's zoom in. And I'm going to press the marquee tool and I'm going to make a smaller selection and see if it does it if it works that way. Okay, Shift F5. Oh, we're not selected on the layer. Make sure that you are selected on the layer. And I press Shift F5, it pulls up content aware, and let's press OK, and let's see if it worked. It works, but it does a bunch of quirky stuff, this 70B. So if you wanted to do it again, you could select this again. Shift F5, and it got rid of it. Now we go here, try and do this, Shift F5, and we've gotten rid of that as well. However, we do have these dotted lines. We can leave them. I don't really think too many people are going to notice them. So, but I'm going to try and get rid of them. So again, Shift F5 for content aware fill. Perfect. Control D. So that looks great. We got rid of that funky stuff and we're zooming out. Another thing you could do when you press Z and then zoom in and out with the mouse by clicking and dragging. You can also press Z and go fit screen or fill screen. So fit screen. That looks great so far. This is exactly what we're looking for. Another thing I want to remove is this down here. So I'm going to press marquee M. I'm going to select the area. I'm going to press I for eyedropper. Boom, select. B for brush, and I'm going to paint in here to remove that. Control D to deselect. We are done and on to our next thing. What we are going to do now is open up some stars. Control O to open projects. We are going to open up some stars to place on the graphic. Here are some stars. Now, what I really want to do is just select the stars and not the orange around. But what I do want to do right now is use my eyedropper tool, or I can click here and then select this. We want this, I want this yellow to refer to it in a second. Okay, next thing we're going to try and select these stars. So I'm going to go select subject and we'll see how well it does. And that was almost flawless. No, I'm making a video, baby. I'm making a video, baby. So now that the stars are selected, I'm going to press V. And I'm going to drag these into our project. I clicked, and now I'm dragging them into the other window and placing them here. Now that they're here, I'm going to press Control T, and we are going to click on the width or height and reduce them, and we are going to center this image. Perfect. Those look good so far. Now essentially they blend too well. They blend with the land. They're not really star color. So what I'm going to do over here now is I'm going to add a layer, a special type of layer. I'm going to click here and we're going to do a gradient layer. Now if you see we had that color selected, now it's given us a gold gradient type layer above everything. This is not an editable object, so what I need to do so I can edit it, like if I try to transform this, I press Control T on this layer, the stars. Sorry about that. I press Control T on the stars, it gives me boundary boxes and I can resize this. Now, what happens if I try and use Control T on this gradient fill layer? Control T. Boom, could not transform because the initial bounding rectangular is empty. So what I need to do is I'm going to right click here and convert to smart object. Then when I press Control T, it actually gives us boundary boxes to adjust the size. I'm going to click while holding Shift and drag this up from the bottom. And then I'm going to click on the top and drag down to the top of the stars. Boom. So I've done that. Now I want to make the stars this color. So what I can do here is if I hover over the layer while clicking Alt, it will fill the layer below it with the color that is in here. And boom, now we have some gold stars. Not too snazzy, huh? Not too shabby. Okay, next up, we're going to put some sort of call to action. And their font type that they always use is a very particular font type. We use this in all of their branding. It's called Playfair Display. I'm going to go ahead and click and say, please leave us a review. Oh my gosh. Boom. Now, Control T to transform, and I'm going to make this a little larger. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm probably going to put it at the bottom so that it's not covering up this little picture they have there. Another thing that I'm going to do in a second, I'll show you in a second. All right, so leave us a review. That doesn't pop very well. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to pull up one of their graphics real quick. Control O. And I am going to find their branding. I want this blue. Let's see. There's a couple things I could do. I'm actually going to take both of these layers, Control C for copy, and I'm going to come over here. I can close this one. Control W closes a project. Go back to the project we're working on. Control V. Nice. I'm going to press Control T to transform this. I'm going to hold Shift and click on the corner when the mouse becomes, and then I'm going to increase its size. And I'm going to click the boxes and snap it right to the top, and click the box and snap it right to the bottom, and I'm going to drag it over and snap it to the side. Then I'm going to hold Shift and click on this boundary box to reduce. I don't want to do that. Control Z. That's not proportionately stretching it, so it's making that wallpaper look really funky. So I'm going to press Control Z, and I'm just going to scoot this over so we just have a tad bit of it showing. And we're going to place this behind all the other layers, especially the stars and the review request. Now, if you notice up here, we got this nice color from the map under there. I messed it up. So I want to make sure that this doesn't show those colors under there. Perfect. Enter and enter. There we go. And that looks good. Still got some of the map. Now it looks a little decorative. And what I really wanted here was to find this blue. So what I'm going to do is come down here and use my eye for my eyedropper tool. And I'm going to select that, and now that color swatch is selected for that color. And what I'm going to do is press T for text. I'm going to select the layer, and I am going to select that color. Boom, please leave us a review. And then we're going to put a stroke around this so that it pops a little more. So you double click on the layer, and then I'm going to press stroke. Sorry about the phone. I'm going to go outside, and we're going to reduce this, and we are going to go with a different color. Let's try white. Let's increase the stroke size to 18. Please leave us a review. Not bad. Not bad. What else can we do? Maybe I'm going to duplicate this layer by Control J, and on the under one, I'm going to select the gold down here. That's okay. And I'm going to increase it to 20. Let's say 22. And that'll make it pop even more. That's nice. And what else? Let's throw their logo on there. Let's do that. No. What are we going to do? You know, I don't necessarily like this photo that they have here. So I think I press Z for zoom. What I'm going to try and do is come in here and maybe replace this with their business card. Let's do that. So let's go here. I'm going to press W for wand, and I'm going to select. I'm going to click, click, click. Almost selected perfectly. Now the wand is very large right now. If I'd like to reduce it, I can press the left bracket, and that's going to reduce it. Boom. Okay, next I'm going to use lasso, because this white, if I select this white, it's going to select, it might select all the way into here. It didn't though, so let's try it. I'm going to zoom in a little more, click Z for zoom. I'm going to press the wand. And I'm trying to just get this little chunk selected. So what I'm going to do is press, it's not working well, so I'm going to press lasso, L for lasso, and I am going to hold shift, click, and drag, and this is going to keep it in a straight line. Click here, boom. And now double clicked at the end and it solidified that whole section and added it to the other one. What I'm going to do is duplicate this layer. I'm clicking Alt and click with the mouse and drag up, and it'll create a duplicate, or you could press Control J. So I'm going to then here put a layer mask. So what this has done, if we remove this, has created a mask in that specific area that we have selected. Okay, so now I'm going to go back into the business card, and I'm going to press V, and I'm going to drag this over into our other project, and I'm going to press Control T. I'm going to resize it so that it almost fits somewhere around here. So that covers it up almost perfectly. Now what I want to do is, we're right above the layer mask. I'm going to press Alt and hover over the layer under the word, and then left click with the mouse, and it's going to put it directly in that little tiny mask that we made. Boom. And it looks like it's offset. So what I'm going to do is press Control T, and I'm going to transform it just a bit, and I'm going to try and scoot it over with it staying in the mask. I might have to increase the size because I feel like it leans more toward the left, but it might be an optical illusion because it's white over here. Let's see. I'm going to drag up and increase it a little bit. And here what I'm trying to do is just visually create the same amount of area here and here, and then make this look center in this box, this white box here. So I'm arrow keying over, and that looks a little more center to me. So I'm going to press enter on my numerical keypad, and that's going to solidify that. Actually, I'm going to scoot it over one more. Two more. One more. All right. Enter numerical keypad, and that will solidify it and set it there. Okay. I think that about does it. I think that is a pretty good idea of how to use a lot of the tools. Every time you go in Facebook, you'll essentially use a lot of those same tools. I hope this was valuable to you. Oh wait, I'm going to make a change. I'm going to select my stars, and I'm going to give them a stroke. I'm going to give them a white stroke, make them pop a little more. Boom! Boom! And we're going to reduce the size a tad bit. Let's go 11. Boom. I think that's better. No, it's too big. Let's go 7. Yeah, that works. Why not? All right. So that essentially kind of does it. To export your project, first off, if you wanted to save it, you would press Shift Control Shift Save or S, and this would be Google Thumb. Boom, boom. And if you wanted to export the file, you press Control Shift Alt and W, and that'll give you your file format options like PNG, JPEG, or GIF. I'm going to increase the quality. We're going to export, and we're going to just leave this there. That's fine. Google Thumb. And to exit out or close the project, then you press Control W. Control W, Control W. Nope. And Control Q to quit. We're out of there. We're done. Now I'm going to go into the email that we have sculpted for them, and I'm going to place that image. Google Thumb, boom, 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 boom. Looks nice and clean. Thank you for choosing Alliance Estate Sales. We hope you had a great experience. Please be sure to let us know your thoughts by leaving us a review. All right. Then I'm going to save it. And we're good to go. So, I hope you guys got some value out of that. I really tried to rush through some shortcut keys and just give you a little tidbit of what happens on a regular basis when you're in Photoshop. You don't have to know all the keys, but those essentials right there, I use every time I open the program. All right, so I hope that helps. Be sure to like and subscribe, share, save, all the above. Appreciate you guys. See you on the next one. Boom!